the AI bubble is popping right now, but nobody's talking about it. There's very little coverage in the mainstream media. I wonder why. But you just have to look at the numbers to see what's happening. Tesla is down 40%. SpaceX peaked 4 days after it listed in June and lost 50% since. Microsoft is down 30%, but it isn't only America, by the way. The KOSPI, KOSPI, which is the Korean stock market. It's a stock market index for Korea, home of AI giants like Samsung and the chips that run the entire AI boom, has lost 43% in about 5 weeks, and it's still falling. Now, you might be thinking, who cares about the KOSPI? But you know what companies make up the KOSPI? Like I said, Samsung is one of them. Samsung itself is down about 49%. SK Hynix, major semiconductor and AI memory supplier, down 58%. South Korea is one of the most important countries in the AI bubble, and its key AI companies are down over 50% on average. So the AI trade is dying right now, and everyone's under this mass delusion that it isn't. And Kevin Warsh is stood in the middle of it. His first meeting as chairman was on the 17th of June. SpaceX topped the day after. Samsung on the 18th. SK Hynix and the whole Korean market on the 22nd. All of them rolled over inside a week of him telling the world that rate cuts weren't coming. And yesterday was a complete bloodbath for the market. He doubled down and he made it worse. But how does a bloke in a room in Washington do that to a chip maker in Korea? Right, so let me explain what the Federal Reserve actually is. Evil. Sorry, the dumb joke. The Federal Reserve is America's central bank. It's not a government department. It's not a normal bank, and it's officially completely independent from the government. Independent, yeah, okay. Anyway, its job, or at least the job that matters to you, the one that affects us, is setting interest rates. And for 15 years, there's been an unwritten deal attached to this job. If markets fall hard enough, the Fed cuts rates. Money gets cheap again, everything goes back up. Every mess since 2008 ended that same way. It's why buying the dip turned to be kind of a religion in the stock market. 6 months ago, that deal was still on. The market was priced for cuts this year and everybody was comfortable. Then Warsh turned up, first meeting in the chair, and he says, no cuts, even though he was supposed to cut. Maybe even a rate hike. And last night he sat there and did it again. He doubled down. And that is the event that caused all of this. Nothing too dramatic. He just removed the assumption that everyone's portfolio was sat on, because the rate does two things. The first one, when markets fall, the Fed cuts rates and everyone gets bailed out. But he just told us that that's not coming anymore. That's not happening. We've been relying on that for 15 years. Doesn't happen anymore. The second is worse. See, while he keeps those rates high, you can lend your money to the American government for a few months and get about 4% back for doing absolutely nothing. That 4% is kind of the floor. And every other investment on the planet has to beat that floor, or there's no point owning it. Why would you own it? Why take the risk of some company like SpaceX that is down 50% when you can just lend your money to the US and they pay you 4%? And ultimately, this brings the price of stocks down. If I get similar returns by parking my money in government bonds, I sell my stocks for bonds and stock prices fall. Simple. That's how the market operates at a high level. That's how a bloke in Washington moves the number in your retirement account without ever touching it. By the way, I put together a free retirement guide, how to retire before 2036, 6 steps, everything I'd do if I was starting again at 40 with nothing. No hype, no nonsense. It's free to grab. There's a link below. Check it out.